Welcome back to the WCA Pro Qualifiers. We have our final game for today, Kolento versus SjoW. This is going to be a crazy match. SjoW showing some really powerful play. Last game, Kolento. Well, you had your thoughts about Kolento. Fans weren't happy with them. So who will take this series? Who do you think?
I think just based on the lineup, SjoW will be slightly favored, as we have the same decks, except we have I guess, Zulok for Kolento, whereas we have a handlock for SjoW. And I think the handlock will be stronger against the SjoW. The handlock will also be stronger against the patron than the Zulok. Obviously, some merit to the handlock being weaker against the hunter, but I think in general the Zulok isn't that strong against hunter. It's playable though, whereas the handlock is a bit rough versus the hunter. But just looking at the play, I feel like SjoW played phenomenally. I think Kolento played well, but not phenomenally, I think, in this series. So I'm going to give a slight edge to SjoW in this match.
Yeah, I think SjoW played exceptionally well. We're going to have a quick look at the bracket just to see what has happened overall today. We had Powder fall 1 game short to Stansifka. Gara not showing up. He had some complications with his schedule. And Stansifka taking a 3-1 lead over a need qualifying for gamescom next week. So Vortex took a game off Kolento, but again, Kolento went through. And we had a fantastic game of SjoW versus Hoi. I think I've got that right. And now we're down to Kolento and SjoW, our last game of today, and I think this is going to be the showstopper, you know.
Oh yeah, for
Clash
sure.
of the Titans right here.
Most exciting game of the day, I would have to say here. I mean, Kolento dominating always, and SjoW playing especially well recently with a 61% win ratio versus Kolento 72%. And yeah, I mean, especially if Kolento keeps drawing like he was drawing before, then he's going to be unstoppable. But I guess if we look at when these players faced last time, they faced in Heroes of the Cards. Kolento won 3-1. Then they faced in Deck Wars, where SjoW won 4-2. So overall, SjoW has been doing slightly better, but I guess the Heroes of the Cards was more recent there.
Well, not only that, these players are playing for the gamescom qualification. They're playing for some prize money, but they're also playing to see who has the upper hand on each player in overall score in competitive play. It's 1-1 right now, so whoever wins this game will take a 1-game lead against their competitor. So either be Kolento or SjoW. You think SjoW? I think SjoW too. I mean, I should probably, as the caster, go for Kolento, but I was very impressed with how he played last game.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to actually start off with the mid-lock, Demon Lock, mid-zoo, whatever you want to call it, versus SjoW's Hunter, a hybrid Hunter running those Worgen Infiltrators. What do you feel about this matchup?
I feel like it's close. I think I slightly prefer being the Hunter. It depends a bit on the deck list, but it's even though. I think this is the best matchup though for the SjoW, as Kolento doesn't want to face Patron. He probably doesn't want to face handlock either as the SjoW. So I think Kolento is very happy about this. SjoW can't be really unhappy about this, but yeah, I think Kolento definitely got the better edge here in game number 1. And I have to admit, yeah, I mean, Kolento didn't play badly at all in this series against Vortex. He won 3-1, you know, like, but it's not the exceptional, you know, perfect Kolento we tend to see often.
Yeah, we were pointing out that when he bounced the Forest back to his hand with a freezing trap, he could have done that with the Warsong Gnomish Inventor, which would have been a better play.
Now, yeah, we start off again, yeah, with a missed juggle here, but continue, please. Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what we were talking about when it comes to Kolento's kind of not his top form play. Now making just a minor misplay there, but it ultimately didn't matter. But Kolento here gets probably one of, like you said, his best matchups for this deck. And if he wins this game, I think he'll be a little bit ahead because he gets this bad matchup for the other decks in the lineup out the way.
So a missed juggle into a 4
implosion.
4 implosion.
This is the second 4 implosion he's had today. He 4 implosion to Leok. He had to go for it, and he got the implosion there, and he didn't even have an Unleash the Hounds punish. And again, SjoW is in the situation that Vortex is in where he can't punish this implosion.
Yeah, I don't know what SjoW can do here, honestly. He may just have to go for the quick shot on tempo. The Wolffighter, though, it can't be the right play here.
Arcane Golem gives that extra mana crystal to Kolento. He doesn't want to speed up his curve here. It is a very tough play.
The thing, though, is if he goes for the quick shot, it's just an obvious sign of aggression. You know, quick shot face on turn 4. I mean, Kolento's got to figure, okay, if I just play this semi-passively, I'm going to win this game. This is a desperation from from SjoW and nothing else here. And I think it's, you know, warranted desperation in this case.
All right, so the Void Caller comes down. He's got 2 options available to him from the Void Caller. Imp Gang Boss, which would be okay, but the Mal'Ganis would be huge.
Oh, and then it's the Hounds.
A bit too late, unfortunately, but he still can. He can still use it if he wants. He seems he wants to go for the Wolf Rider over the Unleashed Hound. Still put on that aggression. I guess once you quick shot someone's face on turn 4, you're pretty committed to hitting them in face for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, I mean he has got 7 damage from the following turn. It's not going to be enough for lethal without a tough deck here. But if we look at the idea of going for power overwhelming Imp Gang Boss as Kolento, he could get out the Mal'Ganis right now.
That's certainly going to be the play here, unless he opts for the Knife Juggler. Hovering over that card, maybe considering he can pick off one of the Hounds, but I do like getting Mal'Ganis out here.
I think, yeah, without the Mal'Ganis, Kolento will be looking dead here, honestly, because there's so much pressure from SjoW.
All right, so this Imp Gang Boss is going to come down. These Juggles are going to fly. I imagine the board's going to be cleared here. Don't want to leave any doggies up for that kill command activator. But SjoW's hand, it's very aggressive. Arcane Golem Wolf Rider. He's got 7 damage there and a kill command to boot. So he's got all the damage he needs to close out this game very soon.
He should go for the Arcane Golem now, I think. Right? It has to set up lethal here. Gonna give Kolento another mana, but I mean, he figures how could Kolento possibly play around this? It would have to be a Mal'Ganis. I mean, a Defender of Arcus wouldn't cut it, but unfortunately for SjoW, Kolento does have the Mal'Ganis and the power overwhelming needed.
Imp Gang Boss goes into the Arcane Golem. Gonna get a juggle here. Hopefully hit that Wolf Rider. Lands on the Wolf Rider. Yeah. Nice RNG from Kolento once again. And the power home does come down. So he's going to get this Mal'Ganis at the end of his turn, protecting him from that kill command hero power, which would finish him off. So he needs to draw an Owl here.
Owl or nothing else. It's only the Owl, I think. I can't think of another scenario where he wins without an Owl. Yeah. So he's going to put him down to, 10 health.
He could get a Huffer, but he'd have to use his kill command to take out the Mal'Ganis. Gets a Misha.
That's not enough.
So what's the plan going forward here? Do you take out the Knife Juggler with the kill command?
I think that's actually the only scenario you stay alive, yeah.
But you still have a 4/3 Imp get traded into the Misha from the Dire Wolf. And
no, you die no matter what, it seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's got no other option.
No, wait, he kills the Dire Wolf Alpha, then he can possibly survive. Yeah. If he kills the Dire Wolf Alpha, there's some possibility if he... No, he could juggle no matter what.
Yeah.
Play any minion with a juggler and it doesn't matter. But so lethal no matter what here.
So Kolento, we talked about this mid-lock, we talked about this could be the weak link of his lineup, and he gets a really quick win with it against his Hunter. So Kolento in the driving seat here for taking this series. He's still got a long road ahead of him. SjoW is a very strong player who showcased excellent play last game. So Kolento is ahead. How do you feel? What do you think SjoW needs to do now to adjust?
I think he may need to go Patron even. Yeah.
Try to squeeze out a win?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the handlock now, before you had 2 good matchups and 1 bad one. Now you have 1 bad one and 1 good one for the handlock, whereas the Patron is still, Patron.
Patron's Patron. Patron does Patron things and wins games.
But yeah, for Kolento getting that first win, the Warlock, the Warlock was Kolento's weakest deck against SjoW, so getting that first win, he's even further ahead than a 1-0, I'd reckon, It couldn't go better for Kolento. He got everything he needed in terms of draw, but the Mal'Ganis was the main part. I think the RNG was pretty insignificant in this match overall.
Yeah, we talked about how the RNG was heavily in Kolento's favour in some of the games against Vortex. The slamming to execute, saving him from that Misha was a big RNG turn for him, but not so much this time. The 4 of the implosion played really well because there was no hounds to counter it, but SjoW still managed to find a way to keep the aggression on and keep the pace up. It wasn't until the Mal'Ganis came down that game really changed. But we're going to the next game here. Seems like Kolento is going to be queuing in his Hunter this time, and SjoW is actually going to take his handlock.
I think if Kolento didn't get that 4 implosion and have and if SjoW didn't miss that juggle he did on the abusive, which cost him his juggler. If he hadn't done that, Kolento would just brought out the Mal'Ganis earlier and played safer. He had the I guess, yeah, he was able to play a bit greedier and so it didn't really matter. So I feel like Kolento would have won this game no matter what, even if SjoW had hit this juggle there earlier. But interesting from Kolento, we see the Stampeding Kodo again.
Stampeding Kodo's not really going to find much value in this matchup. It's only really going to take out Sun Fury, Protectors, and Owls. But against other matchups like Aggro Paladin, maybe it's a nice tech choice these days. Kolento kind of experimenting with the Kodo. I mean, Kolento, from what I've seen on his stream, he likes to experiment with different decks. I remember when he got Priest becoming quite popular again, he made this kind of new variation of Control Priest, and he was doing really well on ladder on it. And that's the kind of player Kolento is. He likes to try stuff out. He's quite a sorry, I've lost my word there. But he's quite a, he's quite an experimental player in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Creative, I think, would be the word.
Creative, yeah, that's a good word.
But in general, that Priest there was basically based on Death Lords, and you had the Paladins as well, and they did really well. But now it's Faladre coming out for SjoW. I feel like he's slightly ahead, even in this matchup. We do have an Owl though, so a lot of options. I think Kolento has to Owl here.
You must be loving all this handlock play today,
Oh yeah.
One of the decks that you've spent a lot of time working on, so it's nice to get your insight on a deck that you've invested so much work into.
But now, yeah, the Zombie Chow and the Twilight Trick look like an obvious option, but yeah, this Owl though turns everything around. We're talking about SjoW being in an okay position, but with this Owl and the Freezing Dog coming down, it's just completely turned around. And we have a target for the Kodo.
Yeah, we do actually. We were talking about how Sun Fury and Owls tend to be the only targets, but the one Zombie Chow that Handlock sometimes runs, he's going to be able to Kodo it, get some value from here. But you might not feel that's the right line to play here. Maybe might drop a low feb, lock out any potential Shadow Flame targets, go on a bit more of the aggressive here.
I mean, no matter what he does, he's going to kill the Zombie Chow.
Yeah, he wants this Freezing Trap to eat up the Twilight Drake.
I think it's quite likely also that SjoW is going to be replaying the Twilight Drake.
14 health already, turn 6, looking very dangerous. We see a second Molten Giant come into the hand, but no Taunt activator yet. That's something he'll be wanting to look for now that Owl is out the way.
I think he's going to tap into Shadow Flame here. I don't see another scenario where he survives.
And Shadow Flame doesn't actually clear the board. It still leaves up 2 1/1s and the Kodo with
Sun
1
Fury
health.
maybe, but Heal Bot is not going to do it, so yeah. I mean...
So he can run this into the Freezing Trap and drop double Molten, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
I want to mention the idea of going for Handlock in game 2. We had the option of going for Handlock in game 1, and then you have a 67% chance of getting a good matchup, but now it's 50-50, and he got the bad matchup versus just going for the Patron and finishing that off.
And that leaves that leaves Kolento with the strongest deck in the meta game going up last, which it just increases his chances to win this series so much, because Patron's one of those decks that can almost win a lot of them. Even like you were saying, it's a bad matchup for Patron to run the Handlock, but it's not unwinnable.
Oh, no.
Patron has the reach to beat Handlock and even some of its worst matchups. So now Kolento has his deck last, and he has to play. He can potentially play against 3 decks, and he only needs one good patron game, and he's won this, and he's going to Gamescom next week.
So I mean, in general, if you look at SjoW's lineup, he wanted to hit the Patron with his Handlock. He wanted to hit the, I guess, the Hunter with his Patron, and he wanted to hit the, I guess, hit the either the Handlock or just anything with his Hunter. It didn't even matter, but I think you could have actually saved the Hunter until the last game, because it doesn't really matter what you face. But now he has the Patron left only, so he'll have to win a Patron mirror on top of everything else.
Yeah, he still has to beat that Handlock. The Hunter's probably going to be the one he can win. Oh, the mirror. You said he's pretty good in the mirror, right, Kolento? How do you feel his SjoW is in the mirror match?
I think he's excellent as well. I think it's going to be a very exciting mirror if it goes through that. But I feel like, yeah, had SjoW beaten maybe the Warlock or the Hunter before with the Patron, been in a better position right now, because then he would have favored matchup with the Handlock and then a doable matchup with the Hunter. So yeah, things are not looking good for SjoW at all, and Kolento 2-0 up here. series.
Colento's almost there to getting qualified for Gamescom. One more game, but SjoW is a quality player and he's not going to go down without a fight. So SjoW cues in the Hunter here into this patron, hoping to get a win on the board. If he can win with this Hunter, he could queue in Handlock next, which is a favorable matchup, and perhaps win that game, and then it does come down to the better patron player.
Oh yeah, I think it comes down to the nerves as well, because you generally want the hardest matchup is going to be the mirror. I feel like for SjoW as Hunter, kind of this type of Hunter is I feel easier than the face Hunter. There's not a lot of tough decisions, although there are some. Whereas the patron mirror is going to be really technical, and you're going to have all your attention on that. So if you feel possibly tilted by going for that in the game 5, which is going to be the highest amount of pressure, I feel it's got to be saved until the last. Now,
let's look at this hand from Kolento. It looks fantastic. He's got a curve, he's got draw, he's got armor, he's got an unstable ghoul to stop any kind of early aggression from those Worgens and those Lepinomes. But he also has an execute to deal with anything he feels is too threatening. So Kolento's sitting on a lot of answers to what the Hunter can throw here, whereas SjoW didn't actually find a 1-drop at all and had a hand clogged up with 3-cost cards.
Still, he can go for the coin bow now into an armor companion. It's going to be really good. I feel like at Kolento going for the armor smith, it would have been, if he has...
It plays around bow, so
yeah.
surely armor smith would have been better.
I mean, still, like, you know, because you want to save that for the late game, getting well with the fact off. So, yeah, I mean, Acolyte Pain's going to come down, so it's going to be cleared probably.
Eats 3 damage from the bow, so he does spare 6 damage to his face with both the Acolyte Paint and the... oh no, is he going... Oh, I thought he was going to Warfried here, so...
He does... is stronger against Despite, I think that's the main idea behind that. But he's not played it, so apparently we're very experienced Hunter.
Cruel Taskmaster, so Armorsmith Cruel Taskmaster most likely to come down here, builds a bit of a board, and now he's got some options when it comes into trade in next turn against any kind of aggression that SjoW decides to throw his way.
This feels like watching two Grandmasters play, you know, Lightning chess. They know both these decks in and out, and they, you know, the plays just come to them automatically. They're playing Lightning fast Hearthstone here in a deciding game. Last match of the day.
But the thing is, Lightning fast Hearthstone in this situation, I think it plays more into Kolento's favor than it does into SjoW, because SjoW has a lot more to lose with this game.
But I mean,
now.
yeah, but Kolento is playing a harder deck though to play, so I think that must factor in.
And Misha again, this card almost haunted Kolento against Vortex, but you found that execute with the slam, but he's sitting on the execute in his hand now, and he has a Death Spite, so he has plenty of options to deal with it, and he's going to gain considerable amount of armor here with this Whirlwind, with the Armor Smith, and the Death Spite, Death Rattle, so Kolento looking in a good situation here.
This is almost lights out. I can't see SjoW possibly coming back. He's going to need a Unleash the Hounds right now, and just not. You can't stop going face for a single turn in this matchup at this point.
Double kill command again. It seems a recurrent theme in this tournament so far. Players drawing double kill command.
But yeah, he needs to kill the Armor Smith and he needs to keep this rolling, because one more Whirlwind and it's just going to be too much.
Lepinome comes down. He's going to try and get some value. Value as hero power, just keep his hand nice and full. But the problem is Kolento's already got such a huge advantage with this patron board. Finds a Whirlwind, so he could potentially draw a lot of cards with this Battle Rage. Depends how he wants to go about it. He could Battle Rage first if he wants, draw 3 cards, try and find maybe a Warsong commander.
He only gains 1 draw, I guess, from Whirlwinding first, and that's not going to be enough.
Finds a Warsong commander.
Because yeah, if he gets a Warsong commander or an Armor Smith, it's going to be way better to hold on to that Whirlwind. But yeah, I mean, I've got to give it to Kolento. Well played in this game. Had he gone for the turn to Armor Smith, he wouldn't have had the had he gone for the turn to Armor Smith, he wouldn't have had it for the patron turn, and he may possibly have been, yeah, a lot, I guess, at lower health and wouldn't have got the bow charge from it. So there's a lot of different things.
So Kolento's playing around Unleash the Hounds here, making it a bit less valuable, but not only that, he's setting up for a big Throbbing turn next turn with the Whirlwind. And he could even play Warsong, Throbbing, Whirlwind next turn, have 2 Throbbins. So it's looking really bleak here for SjoW.
Yeah, he can't really clear this effectively. And he's got to spend all his burn on this removal, which is not where you want to be with as a hunter.
He doesn't even have a beast to activate these kill commands. So the kill command can't cleanly clear up this Throbbing. So he's going to probably use the abusive. Oh man, I feel for SjoW. Like, he had such a strong performance in the last game, and he hasn't really had. I wouldn't say his performance has been poor. He just hasn't really had the opportunities with his hands and with his draws to show the same performance he had in the previous game.
I like his idea though, killing just the frothing. It's really strong in terms of the possibility of coming back, but yeah, Kolento has way more than enough for lethal here, so he is going to be taking game number 3 here. 3-0 sweep. Not what we were expecting.
Did we curse, SjoW?
I think we may have, yeah.
Usually you have one commentator kind of vote for one player, and we both went for SjoW. We were rooting for him because we enjoyed his play from the previous game, and now he just gets 3-0'd. So if there's any responsibility on us, we apologize, SjoW. We're sorry. We should have balanced. we created an unbalance in the casting. So Kolento will be taking that. He will be going to gamescom next week. You will see him there with Stan Sifka. And that's the last match for today.
Oh yeah, been an excellent day. I think Kolento just played that series perfectly. He outpicked SjoW really harshly. Yeah, every single match was just exactly what Kolento wanted. He had that, the SjoW got the best matchup, which was the Hunter. Then we had the, was able to dodge the handlock by killing it there as well. We had the Patron also get a really favorable matchup against the Hunter. So well played to Kolento, and he very deservingly is going to be at Gamescom.
Yeah, so before we go, we're going to show you the bracket to see what happened today. Some of the results there. Stan Sifka taking out his opponent. Gara unfortunately not being able to play. Vortex taking the game off Kolento. I'm sure he's happy with that. Starting to build his career as a professional Hearthstone player. And SjoW falling a bit short to Kolento, but Kolento, like you said, played exceptionally, and he picked better, like you said. So Kolento very deservedly going to Gamescom next week. So I think that is it for us today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've had some excellent games today. Any final thoughts, Kaldi?
I guess I'm looking forward to tomorrow as well. We have Savage versus Lothar coming up. Then we have Thijs versus AK Wonder. I'm really excited to see AK Wonder especially. He's been playing so well at DreamHack Valencia, so well at DreamHack Summer. He actually beat me there. A really passionate Spanish guy who just does so well in his open tournaments. Now we have him in his first invitational, so I'm excited to see how he can do against Thijs. Then in the later half of the day, we're going to have Life Coach versus Deathalore and Hawkeye versus Maverick. So 2 more Fate to Karma players, 2 more Greek players. I think it'd be excellent if we see those 2 players face off like we did at Infinity. Those are some high quality games there. Went to game 5 with Hawkeye barely winning, but yeah, I think Deathalore played excellent Hearthstone. So yeah, just excited about that. So yeah, be sure to tune in tomorrow. We have more games for you. We're going to have another 2 players from that bracket qualifying for Gamescom next week. If you'd like to know more information about this event, please look at www.WCA-Europe.com, a bit of a mouthful there, and be sure to check us out on Twitter at WCA Europe, and you can hashtag WCA 2015 if you have any thoughts on the event. So until tomorrow, we wish you a good evening and see you then.